Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Insyirah Bibi and today I will be doing a recorded presentation for EIC453 Global English. So today I will be reviewing an article titled Linguistic Pride Towards Singapore English Among Chinese Singaporeans, written by Michael Ng Yixiang, a researcher from the School of Humanities at Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. So this article explores the concept of linguistic pride, which refers to a speaker's emotional attachment and positive regard for their language variety. This study focuses on Chinese Singaporeans and how they perceive and value Singapore English, a local variety shaped by Singapore's multilingual society. Ng argued that even when speakers feel insecure about how they speak, they can still feel proud of their language. This contrasts with earlier research that treats linguistics insecurity and pride as opposites. The article presents a new framework and empirical findings to support this claim. So, this article highlights how the article successfully proposes 5 conditions of linguistic pride, highlight how perceptions are influenced by race and education, and demonstrate the pride and insecurity that can coexist in the context of Singapore English. There are 3 main points presented in the article. First, the author introduced a 5-condition framework to define linguistic pride. These 5 conditions are linguistic ownership, the feeling that the language belongs to the speaker; self-approval, satisfaction with one's own use of language; approval of others, acceptance of how others speak; linguistic affiliation, a sense of belonging to a language community; and lastly, linguistic appreciation, valuing the uniqueness of the variety. These conditions are adapted from philosophical theories by Hume, Davison, and Taylor. In my opinion, this framework is detailed and informative, though it may be difficult to apply in more diverse or informal language settings. Secondly, the article shows that language attitudes are influenced by race and education. The study found that participants were more supportive of speakers who were Chinese and had tertiary education, while Malay speakers and those with lower education levels received less approval. This highlights the presence of social bias in language perception, which the article acknowledges but does not fully explore. Thirdly, the article finds that linguistic pride and insecurity can coexist. Older participants express more confidence in using Singapore English, while younger respondents showed signs of linguistic insecurity. However, even those who felt insecure still encouraged the use of Singapore English in others. I find this point especially relatable, as many young people today feel pressure to use standard English while also recognizing the value of local varieties. So next, the strengths and the weakness. The article demonstrates several strengths. Firstly, it presents an original and structured framework for understanding linguistic pride, which is not often explored in sociolinguistic research. Secondly, methodology is careful designed using clear service questions and response options to reduce confusion and participant fatigue. Lastly, the author maintains a formal and objective tone with strong academic references supporting her arguments. However, the article also has weaknesses. The most significant issue is the limited sample diversity. The study includes only Chinese Singaporeans, excluding other ethnic communities such as Malay and Indians. This limits the generalizability of the findings in a multicultural society like Singapore. Another weakness is the lack of critical analysis regarding social bias. Although the study identifies that respondents prefer speakers of similar ethnic and educational backgrounds, the other does not fully explore the social implication of this pattern. In my opinion, a deeper discussion on linguistic discrimination or privilege would have strengthened the analysis. There is also a theoretical inconsistency. The article promotes self-approval without comparison, yet the findings are based on comparisons between ethnic and educational groups. This contradiction affects the coherence of the article's argument. Finally, the article relies heavily on Western philosophical concepts, which may not fully reflect the local realities of post-colonial Southeast Asian societies. Terms like variety, accent, and type of English are sometimes used interchangeably, which confuse readers or respondents unfamiliar with linguistic terminology. For the crab test, using the crab test, I find the article to be clear in structure, though some terminology is used inconsistently, relevant to current discussions on word Englishes and language identity, authoritative as it is written by a credible academic from NTU, accurate, supported by data and references though lacking deeper critical engagement, purposeful, aiming to inform academic readers about the complex relationship between linguistic pride and security. In conclusion, the article make a valuable contribution to the study of language attitudes, especially by proposing a structured way to understand linguistic pride in Singapore English. It provides useful insight on how pride and security can coexist, particularly among younger speakers. However, the overall impact of the article is limited by its narrow focus on one ethnic group and the lack of deeper critical engagement with social biases. In my opinion, I believe future research should aim to include more diverse participants and provide more thorough analysis of the application of linguistic prejudice in multilingual societies. So that's all from me. Thank you.